has never been in contact with any particular law enforcement court system. And from what I can see and what I hear out here from a lot of my Black male, and I'm sure it's common knowledge, is that because they are unfamiliar with the court system, they don't know, number one.
Traveler.
All right, folks. Today, we've got a sovereign citizen in court. Except this time, there's a twist. He actually asked for an attorney. Progress? Maybe. But don't be fooled. He's still fully committed to that sovereign citizen mindset. Here's the deal. He was caught driving without a license, had a homemade plate that literally just said traveler, and of course, resisted arrest. Because what's a sovereign citizen case without a bit of unnecessary struggle? But here's where it gets even weirder. His attorney seems to be having a pretty bizarre time in court with him. Lots of awkward moments and back and forth. It's honestly one of the strangest legal exchanges I've seen, so let's dive into this one. Trust me, it's entertaining. And let me know your thoughts on his lawyer. Because this dynamic is just something else.
Judge. Okay. And then on the bond reinstatement as well, Judge. Right.
So officers initiated a traffic stop in Harris County, Texas for a vehicle having a fictitious plate bearing the word traveler on it. During the stop, the defendant refused to provide...
Traveler. Okay.
During the stop, the defendant refused to provide ID or insurance information, stating, "I do not consent to this." Officer attempted to remove the defendant from the vehicle, and defendant actively resisted by pulling his arm away from deputies until he was detained.
Okay. Tell me what.
So we looked at, Madam Prosecutor, the interference with duties of public servant, Your Honor. Even if my client is failing to give them that, then it is an arrestable offense. But in this situation, it is, Judge. However, in this particular situation, he didn't interfere with anything in terms of his own arrest. I can, if it was a resisting or something to that effect, I can.
They're just trying to get him out of the car.
I don't disagree.
It's classic sovereign case where got the license plate, think that traveling by right is what I think how they term it.
In this situation, Judge, and the reason I'm employing upon the court is, even from what Madam Prosecutor has seen on the video, they're pulling and tugging at his arm, which put my client in some fear. It was more than one officer. It was pretty.
But he still has a duty. If they're asking you to come out, they can lawfully do that. And there are videos, and go on YouTube, right? There are hundreds of videos where officers will literally destroy your car to get you out. When you get into a pissing match with a person who has the power of arrest, who's going to win, Mr. Daly?
We don't disagree, Your Honor.
Right. You know what I mean? That's real life.
We don't disagree, Your Honor. I think under the circumstances of what actually happened, it was not Mr. Daly's position to resist or to interfere. That was not. He was concerned for his safety at that point. And actually, I don't know, did you hear that on the video? Right. And so in reviewing the video, it was pretty quick, pretty brash. They didn't give him an opportunity to respond per the prosecutor. In this situation, it wasn't as if he was intentionally
Remember,
not.
this is just a mere probable cause.
Yes,
So,
Your Honor, I agree.
they ask you to come out of the car one time. Yeah, it's really, so, I think that there's enough probable cause to go forward now. The problem is, Mr. Daly, is that we revoke your bond. Your bond is set at 2501, and you've continually failed to appear. So, the case and the way that you've treated us, it shows me that you just refuse to accept authority. How are we supposed to deal with that? How do we deal with that, Timberland?
Your Honor, the only reason I bring to your attention is I asked the court to take into consideration, we have a Black male works every day who, and I hate to put that on the court, but I do in this particular climate, that has never been in contact with any particular law enforcement court system. And from what I can see and what I hear out here from a lot of my Black male, and I'm sure it's common knowledge, is that because they are unfamiliar with the court system, they don't know, number one. Number two, when they do come in contact with police, and my mother is assistant chief of police, so I can understand, even when I was younger, I was taught that there are certain things that you have to do with when a police officer even stop you on a speeding ticket. What we don't know is whenever these officers come up, when you're somebody who don't have the privilege of having a police officer as a parent, or who isn't familiar and is being raised in this particular climate and seeing what they see on TV and seeing what they hear and everything that has occurred, you don't know what the proper steps are. I was trained from when I was grown up what you do. I'm not saying that what he did was right or wrong. I'm not saying that how he reacted to this particular court, it is wrong. However, I'm employing upon the court to ask the court to take into a little bit of consideration. Number one.
Are you kidding me right now? My attorney is actually pulling the race card, and believe it or not, that's not even the wildest thing she's doing. It's like she's made it her full-time job to shield me from everything, practically smothering me in court. I mean, is she my lawyer or my mom? Because the way she's handling this is next-level bizarre. And let's be real, how is she even arguing that the police didn't have probable cause? Newsflash, when an officer tells you to step out of the car, you step out, especially when they have a valid reason. And come on, my license plate literally just said traveler. If that doesn't scream red flag, I don't know what does. Look, I get it. Sovereign citizens had their own, unique way of seeing things. But even the judge isn't buying this defense. And it's not just any judge, it's Judge Furr. This guy isn't known for handing out free passes. And considering I already skipped court once, I highly doubt he's feeling generous today. Basically, I've been acting like the law doesn't apply to me. And now they're throwing in the race angle. There's just no way this is working. What do you guys think? Is my attorney going overboard, or is this just next-level courtroom chaos? Let me know, because I can't be the only one who finds this whole thing ridiculous. All right, let's dive back in.
And by which of way I believe I can reach him in getting him to court and resolving this matter, which is what I talked to the prosecutor about when you were on break. It's like, let's just resolve this. Let's take care of this.
I'll buy it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm not going to do this again, though. I promise you. I don't care whoever you have. If you flake on us again, that's 3 times. It's out. I'm not going to do it again. Do you understand, Mr. Daly? I mean, when you come to court, good things happen. When you don't show up and you continually do it, you can't expect good things to happen. Now, do you have a Texas driver's license?
Not right now.
You're not allowed to drive.
Right.
You have a bond condition and you've signed an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive. I don't care how you term it. Driving, traveling, however you're going to word it, whatever you do not get into the driver's seat of an automobile, a motorcycle, anything with a combustible engine where you can get on the road unless you have approval from us. Do you understand? I don't care that you have to work. I don't care if you have to go to church. I don't care if you're going to a funeral. I don't care if you're going to wherever it may be. Do not drive. Do you understand? Heed this warning. You're not going to get another one. Okay, Timberlake, I'll
you.
reinstate the bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I'll talk to her. We were going to try to talk to Chief, but it's pretty busy
I
today.
think the case is only 3 months old,
Yes,
so
sir.
you've got time. You can do whatever you want.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court now, but you must stay in touch with her and she'll tell you when you got to come back to court. If she comes back and tells me she can't get a hold of you because you're playing games or you've gone AWOL or whatnot, or you get arrested for something else, all bets off. We good? I'm not asking for much, man. Really. And for future reference, when you get into a pissing match with someone with the power of arrest, you are nearly always going to lose. It's just the way it works. And as a young Black man in today's society, you got to be extra special careful because things can go really wrong really quick. And there's evidence of that over and over and over.
All right, This might be a hot take, but I'm honestly disappointed that Judge Fleur didn't throw the book at this guy. Look, I'm not saying every sovereign citizen needs the full law and order treatment. But come on. This dude skipped court, resisted arrest like his life depended on it, and drove around with a license plate that looked like it was made in Microsoft Paint. In most cases, failing to appear in court can land you extra charges or even a warrant under contempt laws. And resisting? That's a whole separate offense that usually stacks on top of whatever else you've got going on. This should have been the perfect case for a harsher sentence, but instead, he basically got off with a slap on the wrist. What do you guys think? Fair or way too lenient? But honestly, the real head-scratcher here is still that attorney. I don't know if she's ever handled a case like this before, but wow, she went all in. The way she was practically shielding him in court was just bizarre. I don't know if that's a Texas thing. If anyone from Texas is watching, let me know. But I've never seen anything like it. And then there's the race card. I don't think that argument fits at all in this situation. I mean, this guy literally had a fake traveler plate. That alone explains why he was pulled over. I'm not saying I'm an expert in legal strategy, but come on, that defense was a stretch. Anyway, this case was entertaining. Even if the guy barely said a word, his lawyer pretty much did all the talking for him. But at this point, I feel like I'm losing brain cells just thinking about it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. And seriously, let me know in the comments what you thought about this attorney. That's the real mystery here. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody.